Hello, and welcome to Vietnam Connexion Weekly, your trusted source for insightful beyond-the-headlines updates on Vietnam's economy, politics, and society. This week, Vietnam was battered by two back-to-back disasters, one from the sky and one from the sea. Typhoon Weifa is the third storm to strike Vietnam this year. It slammed into northern Vietnam on Tuesday, carrying sustained winds of up to 74 kilometers per hour. Gusts up to 102 kilometers per hour lashed the coast, whipping up 2 to 4 meter waves. But wind was only the beginning. In the remote mountainous areas of Noi Bans, Wipha's torrential rains triggered sudden floods, ripping through villages in the middle of the night. Entire communities were caught off guard. Hundreds of homes were swamped, many without a chance to save even the most basic belongings. Families fled through pitch darkness, clutching children, leaving everything behind. Inter-village roads disappeared under rivers of mud. Relief teams report dozens of isolated hamlets now unreachable, with urgent evacuations still underway. The storm left 3 persons dead. A man was killed when a tree fell on his house. But the first tragedy struck just 3 days earlier, in the world-famous waters of Ha Long Bay. A sudden violent thunderstorm capsized a tourist boat. The vessel carried 49 people. Only 10 survived. Nguyen Hong Quan, a survivor, recounted, "It had been raining for 15 minutes. Then the storm hit. A giant wave. It took just 15 seconds, and we were underwater." Clinging to a wooden chair, Quan drifted for 3 hours before a fishing boat pulled him from the wreckage. 2 others clung with him. One didn't make it. His account matches that from the Vuan Tu, who was a crew member. Vuan Tu recalled, "The wave came so fast. One of them was too tired and couldn't hold on any longer. He said goodbye, then slipped beneath the waves." His voice trembled. There were children on board. "I don't know if I'll ever work on a boat again." 36 confirmed dead, 3 still missing, 10 rescued. Authorities are working around the clock. 1 body has been found on a remote islet, possibly one of the missing. Our thoughts are with the families. Our next story is about Hanoi's bold plan to tackle environmental pollutions. Hanoi, a city of 7 million motorbikes, is on the brink of its most radical environmental transformation yet. To combat worsening air pollution, the capital city will phase in a ban of gas-powered vehicles in the next 5 years. Starting July 2026, it will ban all fossil-fueled motorbikes in the city center inside Ring Road 1. By January 2028, the restrictions will expand to include gas-powered private cars within Ring Roads 1 and 2. By 2030, Hanoi aims to restrict all personal fossil fuel vehicles inside Ring Road 3. The Hanoi People's Committee plans to subsidize the replacement of 450,000 petrol-powered motorbikes, covering not just the bike, but registration and licensing fees as well. Low-income residents and commuters frequently traveling through the city center will be prioritized. This shift is paired with a major investment in electric vehicle infrastructure, including expand public EV charging stations in high-traffic areas. It plans to have 100% of public buses run on electricity and other green energy by 2030. The city has hit its 2026 target early, with over 20% of buses now operating on clean energy, thanks in part to partnership with VinFast company by using its electric buses. Vingroup, the Vietnamese parent company of VinFast electric cars and motorbikes, VinBus, and V-Green public charging stations, has introduces a series of initiatives to help Hanoi's residents to make the transition. These initiatives offer 10% discount up front, low-interest financing for up to 80%, cover 100% registration fee, free charging until May 2027. Also, people who sign up to be drivers on Vingroup's ride-hailing taxi service called Green SM will be guaranteed to have a fixed 90% revenue-sharing income rate for 3 years if they purchase VinFast electric vehicles. But Hanoi doesn't stop at vehicles. It just passed a law to phase out single-use plastics citywide. Starting January 2026, hotels and tourism businesses must eliminate disposable plastics like razors, shower caps, and mini toiletries. By 2027, the free distribution of plastic bags at markets and stores will be banned. And by 2028, Most non-biodegradable plastics and styrofoam containers will be outlawed entirely. These are ambitious policies, and they won't be easy to implement as motorbike culture is ingrained in Vietnamese society. But if executed successfully, it will reshape the city's image and air quality significantly. In addition to its effort to curb tailpipe emission, Vietnam is also making progress in its effort to reduce another form of emission. Rice farming is well known as a contributor to greenhouse gases like methane and carbon dioxide. And Vietnam has long been known as a rice-exporting powerhouse, but now it's planting the seeds for a greener future. A government-backed initiative is rolling out low-emission rice crop across 11 ecological zones and 4,500 hectares in the Mekong Delta, which shows promising results. 5 to 10% higher yields and profits, rising by 114 to 190 per hectare. Overall production costs fell 41.80 per hectare. CO2 emissions dropped by 2 to 12 tons per hectare. Local farmers are already reaping the rewards, saving up to 50% on inputs and reaping 30% more profit, while using 40% less seed and 30 to 40% less water. Just last month, Vietnam shipped its first low-emission rice to Japan. Currently, Vietnam is actively pursuing a plan to cultivate 1 million hectares of low-emission, high-quality rice in the Mekong Delta by 2030. Reduction is 10 million tons of CO2 emissions. If scaled effectively, this initiative could redefine how the world grows its staple grains, reducing emissions while lifting farmer incomes. That's it for this week's Vietnam Connection. If you find these updates informative, hit like and subscribe or drop us a comment. Your feedback helps us bring you sharper, smarter stories each week. See you next time.